આજે આપણે એમની સાથે વાત કરીશું એમના કામ વિશે અને એક ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ સબ્જેક્ટ વિશે, એ છે પેરેન્ટિંગ. સો હાય નેહા, વેલકમ. We are very happy that we are talking to you today. I want to ask you one thing, when it comes to time management, I mean, you know that you were here since quite some time, and as a mother, the clock doesn't go off. And I could see, when we just before we started this interview, you were concerned that, I need to check my messages. मुझे ये करना है. तो as a mother, when it comes to time management and with, the kind of work, the kind of profile that you have, how do you manage?
For me, I think that it's a myth that you manage. Because I'm constantly, I feel like I'm constantly running against time or constantly chasing. So I had to be off stage in a way because I had to check that, my daughter's school gets done at 3, my son's lunchtime finishes at 2. So that 2 to 3, I need to be around my phone at all times. Plus, I feel like the largest part of who you are as a mother or as a parent is the contribution of yourself and the contribution of your partner. So I know for a fact that it's an easy day for me at work because I know that my husband's holding fort. But he and I are both in a profession where we can, I'm not comparing actors to doctors, but literally we can be called in any time.
Yeah,
like,
you can't be
kal
available
shoot hai,
24/7.
ye location mil sakti hai. So that's when, you need literally, like I always say that behind every successful woman, there are many successful women because they're the ones who work for you, for your children. So you need to have that kind of support system and you need to build that army to be able to sit here and with complete mindfulness and answer your question. Because if I didn't know that my children are okay, there's no way that I can be in conversation with you right now.
Of course, I completely understand. What do you feel as a parent, one should take care of while raising kids in a time where there is information overload? Everything is easily available. I remember reading an article long back where it said that it's let your children get bored. It's important. So what is your perspective about these changes?
I think for me, to build on a foundation which is based on trust, on happiness, on independence, on creativity, not a sense of dependence when it comes to gadgets, to being close to nature. So I just feel like, with my children, there's a lot of free play time. There's, when going to the park, in the evening means going to the park. It's not like park mein teacher hai, timings hai, ye hai, wo hai. We don't do that.
Just let them be.
And there are days that sometimes, and at some points raise them like yourself, that, if your child is hungry, they'll say, yes, I'm hungry. If it's not, then don't keep force feeding your child. Or, just building on the foundation, which is primarily what you think is good as far as a value add to their everyday life. For everything else, there's school, there's education, and definitely when it comes to all of that, also no pressure whatsoever. At least in my case, I can only speak as much as speaking for my children and nowhere else.
So I was having this conversation with someone and मुझे कहा गया था कि आजकल तो ऐसा हो गया कि जैसे कि पड़ोस के घर में बच्चे ने पूछा पेरेंट्स को कि डिवोर्स क्या होता है, 3rd या 4th में था, क्योंकि क्लास में किसी बच्चे के पेरेंट्स का डिवोर्स हो रहा था. द पेरेंट्स दे वर लाइक, हम तो उसको फैमिली कोर्ट ले गए, हमने उसको पूरा चीज समझाया, हम उससे कुछ झूठ बोलना नहीं चाहते. डोंट यू थिंक, आई मीन द न्यू एज पेरेंट्स, they have this thing कि नहीं हमको सब कुछ बताना है, बट सब जानने की, सब बताने की, सब समझने की उम्र होती है और उनको खुद का एक प्रोसेस है, खुद का बच्चों का जर्नी है इन सब चीज़ों को समझने का. What is your take on such kind of parenting as a mom?
I feel like I'd like to believe that I'm the right blend between orthodox and unorthodox. And there are clear lines and demarcations. I wouldn't go this far. I really think that every relationship should be built on trust and honesty, but it also should be built on the fact that, this is your child's ability to take as much.
Take it,
and
exactly.
Also, in the name of truth, don't push the child's emotional quotient to a point where something within the child can snap. So you don't need to do it. And I cannot even imagine the trauma the child must have gone through. But if they think that that's the right thing to do, as parents, they know what's best for their child. I, as somebody who's an influencer, a celebrity, a public figure, can only speak in front of the camera and say that I'm not in agreement with it. But does that make it right or wrong is entirely up to them.
And I I've come across people who don't let their children be timetable, even when they are on vacation. Like छुट्टी है, बच्चा रात को एक बार 10 बजे के बजाय 11 बजे सो गया, तो they get like hyper. What will you tell to such moms? Don't you think they should also take a breather and let them be? Because then you, as a mother, you are also constantly on toes.
So I have a really funny story about another fellow mom who's a friend, and I told her that, मेरे घर के नीचे, where I live in Mumbai, in Bandra, so during Christmas बहुत सारे stars लगते हैं गली में. So I live in one of those lanes. So I told her that, it's up at about 7:15 the Christmas lights come on. So should we take our kids? So she said, but my daughter, she's 5 and she sleeps at 7. So at 6:45 she goes to sleep. तो उसने कभी अंधेरा देखा ही नहीं in 5 years. So that's when I was just like,
Wow.
It was such an alarm for me.
Yeah.
But then for that mom,
That's
it's
the right way.
To do it. So what the point I'm trying to get at is to each his own. But you should know that when pressure and stress and anxiety or your life goals are getting to your children, it's very important to either know when to define those lines, or it's very important to read the signs, or it's very important to take feedback. So I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm definitely saying I'm the kind of mother कि अगर छुट्टी के टाइम 10 नहीं तो 11 बजे सो गई, मेरे को कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है. और अगर किसी दिन उठ के ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं किया और सीधा उसने 12 बजे लंच कर लिया, फिर भी मेरे को कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है छुट्टी के टाइम. But yes, you need to follow rules and timings because it's school and you need to have a routine, but they should also understand what a holiday is and what it feels like. हम खुद छुट्टी के टाइम ये सब नहीं करते, so why put the child under this pressure?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, I know, you need to rush and there are other people waiting to speak with you. But before I let you go, I want to ask you, you specifically said that, each to their own when it comes to parenting. But what are the 3 things that any parent, father, mother, either, should always keep in mind while communicating with a child and raising the child? Or कुछ चीजें जो हमेशा ज़हन में रखनी चाहिए.
I feel like build an environment where the foundation is 3 things, which is honesty, which is love, and which is respect. And if you tell your child the importance of all of the above, I feel like moving forward, you may end up having a far more smoother relationship with your child, because even when they live their life or they share their daily stories with you or they communicate, and if they know that they are going to communicate through trust, through love, and through respect, I feel like it's a great building block for you. We're trying to achieve that every day of our lives, and some days we succeed and some days we think that it's time to change a few gears. But both Angad and me are not like harsh, tough. We have high expectations as a value system, but we don't have any high expectations of putting our child under pressure at all. Yeah, we'd want like 2 beautiful, well-raised children, but their ambition, their life goals, what they want to achieve, their idea of success, all of that is their own.
It was lovely talking to you. Thank you very much, Neha. Thanks a lot.